always says to reprogram your subconscious mind for success and achieve more in your life. But what does that actually even mean? I spent years trying to change my life until I realized the only gap between my current reality and the one I desired was not who I was, but who I thought I was. And let me tell you, who you think you are is not a match to the life you want to create. Because I used to be shy, introverted, nervous to talk to anyone. I had a personality that was not confident, nor did I think I would achieve anything worthwhile in my life. Let's just say I was living in the shadows. But I wanted to change that. And spoiler alert, I did just that. I went from shy, insecure, little old me to building a multi-six-figure business and speaking on TEDx stages before I turned 25. And in this video, I'm going to break down, first of all, what the subconscious mind is, but more importantly, how to reprogram it. Because I spent all of my early 20s learning everything about the mind, brain, meditating, reading books on top of books so I could change something that everyone told me I was just quote unquote born with, but it was actually in my control the entire time. Now, there is a lot that I'm going to cover in today's video because I really want you to become a master at reprogramming your own mind by the end of this video. Therefore, I'm putting everything into chapters and lessons that you can take away at the end of each and every single chapter, so that way you can actually absorb every single thing that is most important. Now, before we get into the subconscious mind, we need to understand one very important thing, and this thing is our personality. Our personality is what actually defines what we can and what we can't achieve in our life. Up until now, we have all experienced different sets of beliefs, values, experiences, and those experiences have basically shaped us into what we call now our personality. Now, the word personality by definition is a combination of characteristics, qualities that form our individual distinctive character. Now, I actually find that super funny because our characteristics and qualities were defined when we were younger by our parents and people that were around us. Therefore, they were never actually defined by us. But since that's something we've been conditioned to already, we automatically may identify ourselves as someone who is lazy, late, unlucky, shy, insecure, or untalented. Even though that's not who we want to be or even chose to be. Because literally everything outside of us shaped us to be that person. But remember what I said earlier? The only gap between your current reality and the one you desire is not who you are, but who you think you are. So this is the first lesson. You think your personality of shy, insecure, lazy, unhappy, anxious, bad with money, unlovable is who you are. But it's not. It's what you've experienced that you now identify with. So since we know our personality creates our reality, we have the opportunity to change it, and now that is done with your subconscious mind. Now, if you're like me, I have to fully understand how a concept works and why it works in order for me to use it properly. So I learned what parts of the brain make up our personality and what parts need to be reprogrammed to achieve, honestly, whatever it is that we want in our life. To make it simple to understand, there are two parts of your brain that basically operate your life's experience. We have the conscious brain and then we have the subconscious brain. Now, your conscious brain is basically what is awake and allowing you to watch and comprehend this video right now. Your conscious brain is what makes everything in your world like logical and explainable by a reason. So to put it in simple terms, your conscious brain is what you are aware of at any given time. And the easiest way to explain this is with the five senses: what you smell, what you hear, what you see, what you touch, and what you can taste. Now, your subconscious mind is kind of like a storage unit. We store our memories, our beliefs, our experiences, thoughts, emotions, and our habits in our subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind takes over when your conscious mind is preoccupied with something else. And we've all had this experience before. We're driving down the road in deep thought, or maybe we're talking to our best friend on the phone, and then all of a sudden you're at your destination already without even being consciously aware of the road, stop signs, stop lights, people walking, because your subconscious was the one that was actually driving. So now that we know the two parts of the brain, there's something very, very important I want you to remember. Our subconscious brain wants to keep us safe and secure. It's kind of like our own parent. Now, we operate our day-to-day on a very conscious level, but believe it or not, we allow our subconscious to actually take control and make most of our decisions without even realizing it. So think about this. If our subconscious is making most of our decisions, our personality isn't necessarily based off of who we are consciously, but who we are subconsciously. And this is why consciously, if we try to affirm or change anything in our life, it doesn't really work. You can tell yourself, I'm rich, but then later that day, you don't want to buy yourself a cup of coffee because subconsciously your mind says, oh, save your money, even though you have more than enough money to buy yourself a coffee. You're creating from your old personality. You cannot create a life of abundance from a lack belief system that is in your subconscious mind. But if we don't know who we are subconsciously or when our subconscious actually takes over, how can we really create a reality we love consciously? We can't do it. So let me share a few examples of when your subconscious mind takes over, because it is sneaky. For example, let's say you're the type of person or quote unquote personality who is very to themselves. You don't speak up, you're not super assertive, you blend in, you're kind of like a people pleaser, and you like to make other people happy, which is fine. Now, let's say one of your goals is to get another role in your company or even get a raise. But during your morning meeting, when you have the opportunity to be visible and seen, even share a brand new idea, you choose not to. Now get this, this is not your conscious mind stopping you. That is actually your subconscious mind keeping you safe. Because your subconscious mind does not want you to do anything new and different that basically might disrupt your personality you have built for yourself. Even though your conscious mind does tell you, hey, it's time to work on your goals, be seen, get the promotion, share the idea, now is the perfect opportunity, you don't do it. And in your mind, you're like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Or another very common example, let's say your goal is to lose some weight. You want to cut some sugar out. You just want to overall feel better about yourself. But you go out to dinner and dessert time rolls around and maybe you didn't have the best day. And instead of telling your waiter, no, I will take the bill, you tell yourself, I had a rough day. I can treat myself to a piece of cake. Now, consciously, you might think, oh yeah, that's okay to do. You had a bad day. Treat yourself. You can still spoil yourself sometimes. But what is actually happening is your subconscious mind is taking over with a habit you've instilled inside of yourself. The habit of, if I have a bad day, that equals junk food and that equals treating myself. Therefore, that never really allows you to break the cycle to create a new life or even change your reality. So the second lesson I really want you to understand and take away from this chapter is, if you want to change your life, your subconscious is in control of what is created in your reality, even if it feels like your conscious is the one that is making decisions throughout the day. But that is not going to happen anymore, because now that you know how the subconscious brain really works, how sneaky it is when it actually takes over, now is time to learn how to reprogram it. Now, there are actually a lot of ways to reprogram your mind, but I'm gonna share a few set of methods that have worked best for me. The first part is creating a new set of beliefs for the goal you're trying to achieve or the life you're trying to change and create for yourself. So what I want you to do is take out a sheet of paper and write down every single new belief you need to get the reality you want, aka your new personality. And I want you to get so detailed with this. Write out how you would think, act, walk, talk, believe, actions you take, things you do, even things you would not do, and thoughts you would not think. So if you want to stop being broke and make more money, stop saying, I don't have enough money. That is not going to be in your vocabulary anymore. Start saying, I am so blessed, that I have more money, more than enough money to live my life and pay my bills. I'm so grateful that I even have bills to pay. Now, after you write down the list of those beliefs on your piece of paper, the second portion of this method is to actually turn off your conscious mind so you can reprogram your mind on a subconscious level. Because remember, we cannot reprogram our subconscious when our conscious brain is in control. And how we do this is the method of meditating. And meditating is basically where you enter slower brain waves. Basically, it's like your alpha and even sometimes your theta. So it feels like you're asleep, but your subconscious is actually awake. And this is what we want, because your conscious will be asleep, but your subconscious won't be. Now, when we are in a meditative state, you take that entire list of beliefs and start to envision yourself as a whole new person. And I want you to really see yourself living this reality as if you're experiencing it in real life. And you can even go as far as recording your new beliefs and listening to them when you're meditating. And that's actually what I did. And I still do that when I have a really clear and specific goal that I want, but I know I need to reprogram my mind in order for me to actually manifest that into my reality. This works so well because your mind cannot tell the difference between something that's real versus vividly imagined. Therefore, when you quote unquote wake up from your meditation, you feel like a completely different person, and you even feel like you have already experienced the reality that you want to be living. Now, the last method of the reprogramming process is being consciously aware of your subconscious during the day. Because it's one thing to meditate and be living in your desire, but if we can't be that person in our reality, it defeats the entire purpose of really like reprogramming our mind. So this is basically catching ourselves when we start to make unaligned decisions from our subconscious brain throughout the day and shifting into who we actually want to be. Because remember, your subconscious is very, very sneaky. You need to know when this is your conscious, new aligned brain speaking to you, or if you're about to make a decision from your subconscious mind. So for an example, if you know you really want to focus on yourself and you don't want to date anybody, but your ex keeps texting you to hang out with you, maybe you used to give in every single time, but this is where you want to consciously catch yourself and not let your subconscious take over and text him back, but instead block him or ignore him so you operate from your new personality. That is what we want. Now, the main lesson I want you to take away from this chapter is reprogramming your subconscious is so much more than just making a list of beliefs and affirming them consciously every single day. We actually have to reprogram our mind through meditation and consciously catch ourselves throughout the day. But seriously, reprogramming my subconscious mind has changed my entire life. That's why I love creating these videos for you. So I always love to see what was your biggest takeaway. Let me know in the comments, and also let me know what video you want to see next. And if you haven't watched this video on why affirmations do not work, make sure to watch it right here. I love you so much, and until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.